Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the third stanza of this poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, written by the American poet Adriana Rich. And we'll also study the summary of this poem. In the two stanzas that we have studied, we have seen that the poet is trying to express her separate feelings through her artwork. Aunt Jennifer is a victim of the male dominated society. She has no one to tell her mental and physical suffering. She makes a picture to convey her deep feelings. In the first stanza, the speaker describes the tigers which her aunt produced on the panel. They are moving, they are set in motion. They are moving quickly by raising the front legs and jumping forwards on the back legs. In the green jungle, they look free, bright, brave, fearless, and magnificent. There are men sitting there under the tree. But are these tigers afraid of them? They are not afraid of them. They don't bother about them. They move on to, they go boldly, smoothly, slick, and they are very confident. They're bright. Jennifer finds it difficult to make pictures by using the ivory needle because she has become so weak. She is tired of doing household work after marriage. Can't get herself involved in artistic work because she has become so feeble. She has to do this work only during her leisure time. She is afraid of her husband and she has to make it sure that her husband is not watching her. So her hands are terrified. So the poet is expressing in the first stanza whatever her inner desires are there. And in the second stanza, the poet is telling us the predicament, the ordeal she undergoes, the difficult situation she has been facing. And let us study the third stanza of this poem. But before that, recite a poem. Let us see the entire poem before we go to the third stanza. The title is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Aunt Jennifer's tigers sprang across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek, chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through a wound, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So, first stanza, what is her deep desire? The second stanza, the reality, the exploitation, oppression that she undergoes. And in the third stanza, after her death. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. In the first stanza, we have seen what were her inner desires, deep desires. She wanted to be like a tiger, fearless, confident, sleek. But in reality, how she was, that was there in the second stanza. In the third stanza, a revelation. Aunt is dead, but the traumatic life she had spent. The life is gone, but still But still, the memories of that. Is it that it's all over? No, it's not over. Women are facing today the same problem. Probably the poet wants to show the fact of the women who are leading the life in 50s. When aunt is dead, she's dead. Her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. She had a wish to lead a free, fearless life, and that is indicated by the design that she had drawn, the patterns that she had embroidered on the panel. And it showed the innermost desire of hers. She wanted to be strong, she wanted to be fearless. Probably she wanted to dominate. Probably she wanted to lead the life the way she wanted to lead the life. But it was not possible. Her ordeals had brought the end to her life. Her difficulties as a result of the marriage has brought the end to her life. She is dead. Her terrified. She was so much scared of her husband. Though the ring is lying there on her dead body, and which reflects with the ring, with the marriage, the ordeals that have come. Is it over with that? Is it over with that? That is the question. Her frightened hands, probably the fingers, that's all at rest now. It's all over now. But her husband's dominance is not yet over. The tigers in the panel, her desire of her freedom, the desire to lead the life of fearlessness, still it is there, still alive there. And where do we find that? She is dead, but her desire to lead a life of freedom, of fearlessness, that is still there, that is there on the panel. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. They are the ones, fearless, proud, and they will move on. They will show us the inner desires of the woman. A woman wants freedom. A woman wants to lead the life like that of a man, like that of a tiger. She doesn't want to be afraid of anybody. She doesn't want to be under somebody's control. That is what the poet wants to tell the world. And that was the world of 50s. Today, the situation changed. Women are as powerful as men. So here, let's see the explanation here. The final stanza reveals a sad truth. The poet says that even death will not be able to release Aunt Jennifer from the trauma she had to undergo during a lifetime. Her life will be a story of her ordeals and oppression that she was subjected to. However, the tigers created by her will be eternal. They will always be proud and unafraid. Here we get a glimpse of an often quoted conventional theme in poetry that art endures beyond human life. Perhaps the poet wants to say that the women themselves are creating these tigers. They need to break the shackles and be unafraid like the tigers themselves. One more thing that can be inferred from the poem is that Aunt Jennifer, who for long has borne the miseries she was subjected to, now longs for freedom from dominance and male chauvinism. The third stanza describes Aunt Jennifer in death. So she's dead. Finally, her hands lie still, highlighting that her days of needlework are over because she is dead. However, they remain ringed with ordeals she was mastered by, indicating that her marriage is still with her. Because last rise, who is performing? Her husband, perhaps literally if she is buried wearing her wedding ring. Although Aunt Jennifer can't escape in life or death, the weight of her difficult marriage or subservient role in it, her creative work remains a liberating force. Because what she has created that represents freedom, Jennifer herself may not be free during her lifetime and even after her death, but her tapestries and their tigers are. What's more, the tapestries will outlive Aunt Jennifer, uncle, and their marriage, indicating that art can create an immortal kind of freedom that goes beyond human operation. The tigers exist in their very own universe as topaz denizens of a world of green, subplane of existence apart from the one Jennifer and Uncle Shea. And a world that is technically immortal as the artwork is inanimate. So in her artwork, she is living, she is liberated. One can see the freedom which the tigers have. When Aunt Jennifer is dead, the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. In creating vibrant, colorful art that depicts proud and unafraid tigers, tigers who aren't afraid of men, Aunt Jennifer confronts her fear. While she may be stuck, ringed with ordeals of her marriage, even after death, the tigers will remain free in their world of green. Perhaps Aunt Jennifer finds comfort in this creative expression, crafting a bold tapestry that will outlive her and Uncle both, and that shows nature's creatures living wild and unafraid, liberated from man made constraints like marriage. So, here the poet says that one can easily sense Aunt's desire for freedom and fearlessness through a design of tigers. She says that it is not possible for Aunt to achieve this freedom during her lifetime. She will attain it only after death. But here also, the irony of her life is that still she will be tied up with shackles in the form of her husband's wedding ring. The ring was a sole proof of the torture she has undergone, the torture and trauma she has faced from her husband. On the other hand, there are the tigers designed by Aunt Jennifer, which will always depict her desire of living a fearless life by jumping proudly and bravely on the piece of cloth. The poet has used a number of symbols in this poem. Aunt Jennifer. Is she Aunt Jennifer alone? No, she represents all women who have been undergoing this kind of exploitation. So, women all over the world waged under the tyrannical hand of a patriarchal society, where the husband rules the family. The command and control is in the hand of a husband, a man. A woman is not free and fearless, but she is always under the command and control of the husband. So here, the woman of 50s, 1950s, was under the control of her husband, where the society was patriarchal. Now here, tigers, what do they symbolize? Tigers are the inner desires of a woman. So symbolize her dreams and desires of being powerful, fearless, decisive, and liberating. So that is what the tigers symbolize. Wedding band. So wedding band here signifies the patriarchal society where the command is defined as masculine. So there is a wedding that has taken place. With wedding, what has come? Band has come, ring has come, and she is surrounded by all the troubles, the difficulties. She has been totally controlled. She has been confined to the four walls. And this has come as a result of marriage. Uncle, he denotes the oppressor, the one who exploits woman. Aunt Jennifer's hands represent the reality of her life, the burden she has. Embroidery, now here a symbol of creative expression. The artwork expresses the aunt's suppressed desires, her inner feelings, and becomes her escape from the oppressive reality of her life. How she wanted to lead the life, liberated, fearless, ringed with ordeals. Even death would not free her as a wedding band, a symbol of oppression and suppression, would still be on her finger. And the ironical thing here, irony here, a weak and submissive woman weaving a picture of tigers that are strong and fearless. She is a very weak woman. Her inner desire is to become a tiger. And what is she embroidering? She is embroidering a pattern of tiger, which is very strong and fearless. She wanted to be like that. So here, that is the ironical thing. That's an irony. Brutal tigers are depicted, and here brutal tigers, they are depicted as chivalry, who give a lot of respect, probably here to women. The cultured man is depicted as an oppressor. Summary of this poem. In this poem, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, a woman expresses her suppressed feelings through her art. So she is expressing her inner feelings. So here, what the aunt is doing, she is embroidering a motif. She is embroidering a pattern comprising energetic and fearless tigers who are moving freely around the bright greenery. She is living a life of submissiveness to her husband's command. Aunt Jennifer is really leading that kind of life, and Aunt Jennifer is a victim of the male dominated society. She has no one to tell her mental and physical pain. Her acts are all dominated by her husband, and she fears him constantly. The pattern she has been drawing, the pattern of the free and fearless tigers, reflects her inner desire to live a free and fearless life. So she makes a picture to convey her deep feelings. The speaker describes the tigers which are produced on the panel and how the tigers are, they are set in motion. They are moving quickly by raising the front legs and jumping forwards on the back legs. In the green jungle, they look free, bright, brave, fearless, and magnificent. There are men sitting under the tree. But are these tigers afraid of them? They don't bother about them. The tigers are not afraid of them. They move on to their goal boldly and smoothly. Jennifer finds it very difficult because she has become so feeble due to exploitation. So she's finding it very difficult to make pictures by using the ivory needle. She's tired of doing the household work after her marriage. She can't get herself involved in her artistic world. She has to do it in leisure time. Even then, she has to be sure whether her husband is watching her or not. So her hands are terrified. She will not be free from fear until she dies. She will be dominated by her husband till her death. She will die, but her art will express her desire to move proudly and fearlessly like the tigers she has created or she has made. I hope you understood this poem. Thank you. Goodbye.